everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Moving to the Philippines Weekly Update. Well, this week might be the good, the bad, the ugly, and the confusing, or the confused, the head scratcher. I don't know what you want to call this one. But anyway, let's get into our weekly update. So where we're at now is we're still waiting on Lorelai's new Philippine passport to get here. We thought it might be here this week, but it's not. We are still waiting on, and I don't know what it's called. Lorelai did all of this paperwork where we had to tell the Philippine government that we were married, and we submitted some paperwork, and they're supposed to send something back to us, I guess, acknowledging our marriage, because technically in the Philippine government eyes, we weren't married because we didn't file a certificate of marriage with them. So we're still waiting on that. We have no clue when that's coming. We just don't. Now, selling things are going pretty good. Our house is starting to become an echo chamber because all of our furniture is out of here. And we hope to put it on the market in about 3 weeks. That's going to be and I'm going to make a separate video all about some of this real estate stuff and what I've learned and tips and everything. And I'll make another little video about that. So we're working with the real estate or getting the house ready for the real estate market, which is going okay. So, but we're working on a lot of bulk buy-on boxes. I kind of showed you guys a little video about how I assemble them. We are going to try to take about 10 to 12 to the Philippines. That's a lot of them. So we still have to sell a lot of stuff and pack these boxes smartly. So that's kind of all of that's kind of good stuff. No bad stuff, really. But here's the confusing stuff, guys. And as you probably know, the Philippines, in their infinite wisdom about how to handle travelers from another country, whether they're going to let them in the country at all, whether they got to do 14 days in quarantine or 7 days, and a green country list and a green lanes. So there's a lot of information out there about what the Philippine government is doing, trying to do. But what I think is interesting is they finally came out and said, okay, these 57 countries we're going to put on a green list, and then we're going to look at it again in about 30 days. Well, the funny thing is the United States isn't on there. But it has one of the largest populations of Filipinas and Filipinos in the world. And there may not be a lot of OFWs here, but there are a lot of Philippine citizens or dual citizens that would like to go home to their countries and visit, which brings tourist dollars. So, and then of course you have a lot of us expats and visitors who want to go see their fiancés and their girlfriends and all of that, waiting in America to go. But America's not on the list. All right. I did a little bit of research, guys. And here's kind of the crazy part. The Philippines, there are 10 countries out of the 57 that they've chosen that U.S. citizens can travel to with no restrictions except for needing your COVID shot, your documentation to show that you've been vaccinated. So there's 10 countries on there, on their green list, their go list, that we can go to without any issues, except for just showing no quarantines, just showing a little thing showing that we've had the shots. Now, I know that their rules state that they want you to be in that country or whatever country you're coming from for at least 14 days before you get there. But kind of, if you don't know what the green list is kind of doing for them or for travelers, is it takes the 14-day quarantine down to 7 days. You get the swab test at 5 days. If it's clean, then you get to leave at 7 days. So that's kind of what it does. But we're not on there. The United States is not on there. But here's the really head scratcher, the really confusing part to somebody like me. Now, granted, I'm not the brightest boy in the world. China's on there. The country of China is on there. They're on the green list. I don't understand. I hate to be mean, but China caused the pandemic, but yet they're on the green list before the United States. Now, one question I have, and if anybody knows this, I would love to hear it. One question I have is, what matrix or formula does the Philippines use to decide which country gets on the green list? Because I would really like to know that. I would really like to know their thought process. Okay, you got to meet this benchmark, this per capita, whatever their matrix is. I would love to know what their matrix is. Because if we knew how they were doing this, how they were choosing countries, then we could predict, right? We could predict when another country would be eligible for the green list. That would be wonderful information they could release to us. Because then for some of us who are on hold, and we're on hold because our dogs can't travel yet. So we're stuck here. We're going to be stuck here probably until October. But for us, at least, we would know, hey, the United States in September, if it meets these benchmarks, are going to get on the green list, which means we only have a 7-day quarantine versus 14 days. So I'd really like to know that. If anybody knows that, please share that with me. But China? Now, what a lot of people don't realize is China made billions of dollars during the pandemic. I know you guys realize this or not. They were the provider for face masks and face shields and gloves to many third and second world countries. So they provided them with the medical supplies to combat the virus that they created. So just think about that. But China's on the list. United States is not. I had said in another video months ago that I wonder if the politicians in the Philippines who were mandating that everybody wore a certain face shield, certain mask that was coming from China, right? You get it? So these politicians are saying, you better wear this. And by the way, we have them now. They're from China, so you get to wear them, or you get to buy them. So I wonder how much of scratch your back, scratch my back is going on with that. So, these politicians may have made some money on the side. They got China's products in there during the pandemic, and now China's on the list to get to come back to the Philippines way before the United States is. So that'll probably upset, a few of us. And for some of us, it's just, I don't understand. But, all right. So I hope that you guys will continue to do your own research. Pay attention to what the government websites are saying. And remember, before you fly, make sure you print out all the rules and regulations that you're going to need to prove to any airline person, any customs person, that this says I can enter the Philippines under these conditions, or anywhere for that matter, if you're going to travel anywhere. So just make sure you keep all your documentation. Let me talk about the vaccine card. They want the yellow international card. All right, so this is important. I almost forgot this. This is very important. The yellow international card in the United States is not used very much anymore. I talked to a friend in the military. He's actually has to order some because the military doesn't use them anymore at all, so that his military doctor can sign off, show him that he's been vaccinated, they're in the military for the COVID. So I called my doctor, and said, hey, look, when we go, the Philippine government wants me to have this yellow card, and they're saying my white CDC card will not suffice. And so luckily he was able to dig in the back files and go, yeah, hey, we actually have some of those. So maybe your doctors and your hospitals may have some in storage somewhere versus having to go online and buy those. And from what I understand, the Philippines' logic is that the yellow cards are harder to copy. What is that word? To copy, to fake, counterfeit. They're harder to counterfeit than the white ones. But you can buy the yellow ones off the internet and just fill them out and sign them. So I don't know about the logic there, guys. But anyway, at this moment, they want you to have the yellow one. So the yellow international one. So if you haven't already got that, call your doctor and say, look, I need to have my CDC one, my white one. I need to have that information, convert it to the yellow one, and just have it signed and stamped, and you're good. And then you have both of them, and you'll be just fine. But that's the key on that. Just remember, make sure you check the latest updates. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys as always, and many blessings to all of us, and many great travels. And we'll see you next time, guys. Take care.